filmed in a while.
Seems like a long time.
It does.
We did skip
It's
last
been a
weekend,
couple
didn't
weeks.
we?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Today we're gonna do our May wrap-up.
Yeah, for May.
Cause it's
Right?
June.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. It's June 2nd.
I said that and then I was like, is that right?
I do that every time. I'm Jessica.
I'm Christeena.
And you're watching
Game of Tones.
Speaking
Okay.
of doo-doo.
Yeah, speaking of Game of Thrones, we both DNF'd some GOT books in May. I DNF'd Clash of Kings.
Yeah, and I set this down with the intention of maybe I'll pick it up in June, but I don't think I'm gonna.
Yeah, I really do want to read the whole series at some point, but I'd already been reading this for, I think, going on 2 months now, and I was just like getting into a reading slump because I've been reading Game of Thrones and it's taken me so long to get through it, and so I was just like,
It's a different story for me. I have read the series, and this was my second time around, and I was enjoying the series so much. And then I watched season 8, and the finale happened, and I was so very emotional about the whole thing,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of like, I need a Game of Thrones break after that.
Yeah. So you don't think you're gonna go back to it? Not feeling it?
I think I just, and part of it, and this is weird, but I'm gonna try and think about it for a second. Game of Thrones has always felt very personal to me, and like it was my story, and with everyone talking about it on social media and everything, all the time, and for that season to be so not what I wanted it to be, I don't know, it felt out of my control or something. It felt
like it was
it's
taken away from you
a
or
little
something?
bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just need a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Hoopla.
Yes.
Hoopla.
Yeah, so you read some graphic novels?
I read some graphic novels.
Yay.
And I jump-started it with a graphic novel called Book Love by Debbie Tung.
Okay.
T-U-N-G.
Uh-huh.
And it was a cute just little story about like why we love books and what we love about books and the struggles of loving books. And it was cute. It was one of those like cute little graphic novels I needed to just kind of like jumpstart me back into reading after being so slumpy with A Song of Ice and Fire. So I think I gave it 4 stars. Yeah. I gave it 4 stars.
Does it have like a storyline, or is it?
No, it's definitely like piece by piece, just kind of like
comic.
Yeah.
Type of. Okay.
Yeah. So it was cute, and I was like, oh, I'll do this. And when I started it, I was like, oh, this is what this is. And then we've read ones like that before, like Introvert Doodle.
Yeah.
It was very much like that, but it was cute, you know. And then I was like, I want to read more. So it served me well.
Right on.
Yeah.
I read a graphic novel series, and that is Fence by C.S. Pacat. Pacat. I'm not sure.
I don't think that's how that's said.
The illustrator's name is Johanna the Mad.
Whoa.
Interesting.
That's cool.
It's been a while since I read it. I marked volumes 1 through 3 as read on Goodreads, though volume 3 isn't technically out yet. But the issues that are in volume 3 are out. And I read those.
Okay.
So
I see.
instead of just marking
Each individual issue.
Yeah, I just said volume 3 was read.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't come out for a couple of months. It's a young adult graphic novel. It reminded me of Carry On a lot. They're at an academy, no magic. They're at an academy, and they have their, academy suits on. It's like a private school. And it seemed very English, though they never specifically said where it was. These 2 boys are rival fencers, and then they become roommates. Yeah. And I think there's gonna be like a romance.
Much like Carry On.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that romance hasn't happened between them. There's a lot of, like, different races. One of the boys is, I think he's Indian. His name is Saiji. And lots of queer rep. And anyway, I liked it. It was good. I was totally, like, into all the drama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How was the artwork?
Good. It was fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
It wasn't, like, you know, amazing.
Like Descender.
Descender's amazing. Go talk about it.
Speaking of Descender, I finally read volumes 1 through 3. I gave them all 5 stars. I'm reading the 4th volume, and I just love it so much. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that I finally got around to reading it, because as soon as I finish another volume, I immediately am like, I need to get the next one.
That's what I did. Yeah.
And it's so good. I love the artwork. The artwork is amazing.
It's my favorite.
Watercolor, just really beautiful.
Really.
The storyline is great.
Mm-hmm.
I love the characters. And I don't think there's anything about it that I don't like.
Yeah.
Because it's just like so good. And I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
And I just get so sad when you get some of the characters' backstories and some of the AI backstories.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like...
It's the most I've gotten into a graphic novel since Saga.
Yeah. Yeah, same. I would agree with that.
Cool.
Yeah. So it is set in the future. People live in space. AIs are part of the UGC, Galactic Commons, but harvesters, giant robots come and destroy multiple worlds, and so then they kind of kill all the robots. But there's this one little robot that might have a connection, and he's kind of the most wanted robot now. So you just follow him and a few other characters, and it's so good.
Yeah, it was really great.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Cool.
Because you said it has an end.
It does.
Okay. I have 3 more volumes to go.
Yeah.
So I'm getting anxious to see what happens.
Cool.
Because I've definitely had shocker moments in this last volume. I was like, what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
I'm excited you're excited. Well, Christeena's read more than I have this month.
I had a great month.
That's so
reading,
cool.
Which is great because this is the best month I've had since I went back to work in September. And so it feels really good.
That's awesome.
A lot of graphic novels and audiobooks, but I think like that's my thing now, you know? That's what gets me going.
Cool.
So I listened to Wundersmith, The Calling of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. It's the second in the Nevermore series. That's what it is.
Okay.
And I gave it 4 stars. I didn't love it as much as the first one, and I kind of felt like it was basically the same story.
Oh, I hate that.
You know?
Yes.
And I wanted it to really get into like the main story arc, but it was like, it's kind of the same. And I was like, okay. But I still really enjoyed it. Nevermore follows this girl who is cursed and is destined to die on, I think, like her 11th or 13th birthday. And then she's saved and taken to this Wonder Society to be put into these trials to see if she can become part of the society and live. And it just follows her, you know. So it's like a middle grade thing, but it was really, really cute. I loved the first one. The second one, first one 5 stars. The second one I just wanted like more, you know?
Yeah.
But that's okay. Hopefully there's going to be a third one. I don't know.
You don't know? Like it didn't end an obvious cliffhanger?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean there definitely has to be a third one because the main storyline was not resolved.
Yeah.
Like there's a villain that's still out there.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So something's got to happen. It was kind of underwhelming compared to the first one, so...
You listened to those? How was the narrator?
I love the narrator.
Cool.
It was a female narrator, don't know her name, forgot it, but, yeah, I really like her.
Awesome.
I thought she did a really good job. And then...
Yay!
I read The Gigantic Beard That Was Evil by Stephen Collins that I gave to Jessica for...
My birthday.
Your birthday.
In March.
In March. I gave it 3 stars.
Yeah.
I wasn't in love with it.
Uh-huh.
There were some things that I really did like about it.
Yeah.
And when it ended, I was like, okay. All right. So this guy lives in this world where everything is perfect and they live on an island that is here. And then there's the sea, and then there's there. And all the houses are the same, all the people are the same, it just, everything is so nice and neat. And then he starts to grow a beard that will not stop. And of course it freaks society out, and they're like, we have to get rid of this somehow. And it just kind of like goes from there. I really like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
And, like, what it's saying. But at the same time, I was like...
That's how I felt.
Okay, the only thing I wrote in my notes... Oh, creates a little chaos for a better world. I put that down. So, like, a little bit of chaos can make a better world. Which is cool. Like, I get it. I like it. But it was weird. And I did listen to Eternal Flame by the Bangles while reading it for a little bit. Because
oh, yeah, I did too.
the character listens to that song on repeat. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know that song. And I played it. And I was like, oh, I know that song. So, yeah, I mean, it was okay. 3 stars.
Mm-hmm. We read for our In Real Life book club Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant. This is the first Mira Grant I have read.
Same.
I know.
But.
Were you going to say about it being her pen name?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's her name?
I was hoping you would remember.
Okay, she also wrote the Every Heart a Doorway series.
Oh, yeah. Shauna McGuire.
Okay.
That's what it was. Okay.
We found this out, like, at book club the other day.
They told us when we voted for it and it got picked, and then
we did not hear
forgot. Or, yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
But we've not read her either.
No, but I
mean, this is her, but we've not read her other stuff, I mean.
Yes. I really am interested now in reading that series because I really enjoyed her Mira Grant story, Into the Drowning Deep.
So this follows a group of characters. We listened to this on audio, which I really liked. Mm-hmm. And so in 2015, this group of entertainment people, they work for an entertainment company. They want to make like a mockumentary
about mermaids.
Yes. And then everybody dies on the ship. And there are no survivors. There's a few video clips of people getting killed by mermaids, but they're like, it's fake. Right. So then the year is 2022 now, and they want to go do another mockumentary or documentary or just see what happens. And so one of the sisters from one of the victims goes and other people, and it just divulges from there. Mm-hmm. And they're stuck on the ship in the middle of the ocean looking for mermaids.
Right.
And it gets creepy.
Uh-huh.
Which is cool because I'm there for it. I really like stories that interlace like a little bit of creepy stuff to it. Mm-hmm. And when they describe these mermaids,
yeah,
was so cool.
It was super cool. They're the most imaginative mermaids I've ever read.
Yeah.
And there were so many things like I just want to talk about because I've just never seen that happen before in a book, and I would still do a discussion.
I would as well, yeah.
Okay, we should maybe do that.
Okay. Maybe we'll do a review and discussion on it because it was really, really good. I gave it 4 stars. I didn't love it, but it was definitely good.
It was super entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. And we talked about it, and it would make a great movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of scenes that we could all visualize, and that would be, like, really cool on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I also read Umbrella Academy Volume 2 by Gerard Way. Mm-hmm. I gave it 3 stars. Mm-hmm. It's been quite a while since I've read this, but I think some of the timeline jumps in this one lost me a little bit, and I think I would benefit maybe from, like, rereading it, especially before the next one comes out and before I read that one. But I still enjoy the storyline. I don't remember much about it because that was on May 11th I finished it, and it is now June 2nd, so
it had a lot to do with the JFK assassination part.
I didn't, story. Which is fine, but I did watch the TV show first, and so I wasn't really like super concerned about that part of the storyline. I wanted more of like,
me too,
other stuff
like relationship dynamics.
Yeah. But I mean, still good.
Mm-hmm. Group of kids who are superheroes.
Yeah.
They'll have, like, a special power.
Yeah.
And they're kind of trained from a young age to fight crime.
Mm-hmm.
And then they grow up and become adults, and they're all, like, messed up in the head.
They have a lot of issues.
Yeah. So.
But it's really, really cool, and we love the show. We actually have a video where we compare the TV show and the first graphic novel, if you guys are interested. But
yeah, cool.
Okay, I also read Bitch Planet Volume 2, President Bitch by Kelly Sue DeConnick, Taki, Soma, and Valentine de Landro.
Cool.
I gave it 3 stars. I didn't love it as much as the first one. I feel like I'm saying this for every sequel I'm reading right now.
Yeah.
I think my biggest problem with this one is that I didn't reread the first one beforehand.
Okay.
And so it took me quite a while to get back into the storyline of what was going on. And I really think I should have read the first one first because I was quite lost, to be honest. And it was more so about one character as opposed to, like, the main storyline.
Oh, okay.
But it was a lot about her
that
and
at all.
her childhood and background and things like that. I didn't love it this time around.
I was gonna say, I didn't like the first one like you did.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think if this one's not, like, amazing, then I don't think I'm gonna continue.
Yeah, I just, I should have read the first one, I think, to remember, because this main character they were talking about mostly throughout this book of, like, her growing up and, like, her family and things, I didn't remember who she was. And I was like, uh-oh.
Am I supposed to care about her?
Yeah, and I didn't really.
Yeah.
So, womp womp. And there was, like, other characters that were introduced that were in the first one that I didn't remember either, and so it just, and they were, like, carrying on conversations of, like, their past relations, and I didn't get that because I forgot, so really, really affected my reading of that.
Yeah.
But, oh well.
Okay. What else you got?
I have Circe, and that is it.
Oh, okay, cool. I have one more, too.
Okay, so I listened to Circe, finally, by Madeline Miller.
Yay!
It was our book club book last month, and I DNF'd it just because I was, I don't know, couldn't get into it, and just like, man. I give it 4 stars, though, and I ended up really, really liking it.
Yay!
And I was like, just felt more into it this
Good.
time. You know, like, before I wasn't really like, meh, but I really enjoyed it. It follows Circe, who is a lesser god, a nymph.
Her mom's a nymph, and her dad is the sun god.
Yeah. And so
Apollo?
she gets Aries?
Aries? What?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know gods.
Apollo, right?
I've already forgotten. Yes, I think you're right.
Okay.
So she gets banished, exiled to this island, and did you just kind of follow her becoming herself and throughout her life and her lovers and her...
It's an epic tale that takes place over centuries.
Yeah. And I really liked that.
I loved it. It was so atmospheric.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I just really loved it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think, like, didn't love it, but I did really enjoy it.
I didn't know anything about Circe either.
I didn't either. Well, I didn't know really anything about Greek gods. And so we were worried, some of us in book club were worried that we wouldn't really quite understand it or get it because some of us didn't really know very much about Greek mythology. But Madeline Miller did a really good job of kind of just, like, explaining things enough to give you the background without, like, getting into, like, everything, you know.
Yeah.
At one point, Circe's like, I'm not going to tell you my aunt's names because there's a lot of them. And I was like, thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it, definitely. I'd be interested in reading more of her books as well. Yeah.
I would too. There's a Song of Achilles, which I would be interested in.
Yeah, I would read that.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one more. Christeena is currently in the middle of this one.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah, I love this
I'm
one.
going to finish it very quickly, I can tell.
Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Yeah.
We read and
Loved. Evelyn Hugo.
The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo.
Yep, that's what it's called.
But yes. It follows the band The Six and a singer-songwriter, Daisy Jones, and their rise to fame and their masterpiece of an album that they put together, and how that rose to popularity. And I've heard that it's, like, loosely based on Fleetwood Mac a little bit.
Interesting.
Even though, like, that the stories aren't the same. But I think...
I was curious if it was based on anyone.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Right.
But, and then I know a little bit about Fleetwood Mac, and their stories aren't the same, but I think maybe that whole vibe.
Right. What did you rate it?
I gave it 4 stars.
Cool.
I didn't give it the full 5. I'm not sure why. It's just not, like, my favorite ever, even though I super loved it. that I'm not gonna say anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm currently reading it, so
Yeah.
which is interesting because I would have really thought that you would have gave it 5 stars because I feel like you are very into music.
I super
and
loved it.
Just like learning, even though this is fiction, but like that kind of, just getting like that background and that vibe and that like feel to it. I really thought that you would have gave it 5 stars.
I super dug it.
Because I'm, right now where I'm at, I'm like 5 stars. I love it right now.
I know, and I felt that way too,
And then things happen.
yeah.
Uh-oh.
So,
Okay.
that's all. I just
Okay,
have feelings
that's
about
fine.
maybe the story, but that's at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
Okay, later.
Also, real quick, I didn't know this, but the audio is a full cast, and it is so good. I was so surprised when I started listening to it, and they were naming off all the narrators, and then said, and full cast, and I was like, oh, Jessica didn't tell me this.
Yeah, it's done in an interview style,
Yeah.
and there's some actors that you might recognize, like Judy Greer, whose memoir I just read, and Benjamin Bratt, who was in Miss Congeniality. Have you seen that movie?
I mean, yeah, but like, you know.
He was the love interest in that one. That's the only thing I can think of that he was in. But anywho, it was really good.
Yeah, I'm loving it right now.
Cool.
I had a great reading month, and I feel, I feel like finally I hit my stride this month. We'll see how June goes, but.
Right. I planned on finishing a physical book this month, and then I had 2 weddings that I worked.
You had a very busy month.
I did. And when I have weddings and I'm editing and preparing,
Well, we also did the Game of Thrones series, and you edited all those videos as well.
Okay, yeah.
So that was a lot.
And then I DNF'd, I was a ways into Storm of Swords, so it just wasn't the best reading month for me, but that's okay. I still read a lot.
Yeah.
I found some things that I really enjoyed, so.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
Cool. Thanks for watching.
Let us know if you've read any of these books.
Totes. When you play the game of Tomes,
You read or you die.
come be our friends. Social media links in the description below.
And we hope you're reading a great book.
Bye.
Bye.
Lost, what felt like it all in a game. Every man I've measured out to hurt me before I could ever feel safe.